Dorje Drolo is a popular deity found in painting and sculpture. Dorje Drolo is a wrathful figure, and most importantly, he is a form of Padmasambhava, a form of Guru Rinpoche. Now, there are eight main forms that Guru Rinpoche can take on aside from his main form, where he's seated, wearing a lotus hat, often a little bit of a mustache and a goatee, holding a vajra and holding a vajra in the right hand and a skull bowl in the left, in a seated position, usually with the right leg a little bit forward, similar to the posture of Tara. So Padmasambhava has a main form, but then he has eight additional forms that we find in art and primarily painting, sometimes sculpture. And these eight forms actually come out of his biography. They represent different episodes, different narratives, different events in his life story. So we can say they're the eight main events of his life story, and they're represented by eight different forms, eight different figures. Some are, one is a monk, another, two of them are as kings. One is as a Mahasiddha type figure, or a Siddha in a Heruka guise. And then two of them are wrathful, and that's a Senge Dradok and then this Dorje Drolo. Now, in terms of popularity, it's really the Dorje Drolo is the most popular, and then followed by the Senge Dradok. Both are wrathful figures. And both have been sort of taken on as guru yoga practices in the last really 250 to 350 years. So for Dorje Drolo, there's really three topics. It's the iconography, painting sets, and then different art styles. And the art styles pertain to both painting and sculpture. Now, for iconography, typically he's wrathful in appearance, one face, two arms. In his upraised right hand, he holds a Vajra scepter made of meteorite iron. And in his left hand, he holds, sort of thrusting downward, a Vajra kila. So a kila is a peg. In Tibetan, a purba. It's a peg meant to pin something down, not a dagger, not a knife, as some people have translated it. It's actually intended to be a peg, like you would have a tent peg or a clothesline peg, something like that. So in his left hand, he's holding this meteor iron peg. Now he wears a lot of different types of clothes, and they're often described in detail in the liturgical texts. But what's more important for Dorje Drolo is that he is maroon or brownish in color, and then he stands on a tiger, a pregnant tiger. Sometimes it's been translated that it's a tiger that has just recently given birth, but I'm not sure the accuracy of that translation, and I'm not familiar with the Tibetan text that they're using to come up with that translation. So we have this form, maroon in color, one face, two arms, standing on a tiger. Now that is the main iconographic appearance. Now there are variations. There's at least 14 different variations and different terma traditions of Dorje Drolo. Sometimes he's wearing a hat. Sometimes he has less clothes. Sometimes he has more clothes. Sometimes he has three eyes on the face, and other times he has eyes all over his body. There can be variations. In terms of painting sets, we find Dorje Drolo as an individual painting when he's being used in meditation practices as a guru yoga subject. But more often, we find the Dorje Drolo is in painting sets or in sculpture sets that have the other eight manifestations plus the main form of Guru Rinpoche. Now, in terms of art styles, the Dorje Drolo is really only popular since the 17th, 18th century. So we have a lot of art from this period because of the popularity and the revealed treasure traditions that have arisen for this deity. We have a lot of different art. So it's a very good example of a subject to use for studying different painting styles. We have a number of examples that are Central Tibetan. We have really a lot of examples that are Eastern Tibetan, from the Kham region, from the Dege side, from the Chamdo side, and also from the more southern, from the Kampagar side. Plus we have some examples that are Bhutanese. So there's a lot of art to look at with the idea of just studying painting styles, styles of iconography and styles of painting in different regions of more modern day Himalayas and Tibet, the last 200-300 years. So don't forget, press the like button, and you can also share, you can also subscribe, and if you want to help support Himalayan Art Resources as we move forward to our next 25 years of offering educational resources, then subscribe to HAR on Patreon.